Yo, people, what's going on? Back again with another one. Redmond in the building. What you telling me, bro?
Come on, Maggie. Come on, Maggie. Lads, we're both crap, so it's fine. Like, none of us have got brownie points. None of us have brownie points right now. So this is productive back and forth discourse between two very well-knowledge football fans talking about how terrible their teams was this previous weekend, as well as probably a bunch of other stuff. So, and it's the first time in a while, so look forward to it, lad.
Yeah, 100%. What is the general feel? Obviously, I've seen some quotes from your manager,
Yes,
talking about the atmosphere at the stadium and that.
yes.
What was your general thoughts on your team's performance? Because we didn't really do anything in it, so it was just up to you lot to find a way to win the game, and you couldn't do it.
Yes. It was one of those. I'll address the first one about the performance, and then I'll talk about the atmosphere because they're both good questions, and they definitely both need to be addressed. So the performance was just lackluster. It was desperate almost. It was so. If you do any job and let's say it's a task-driven job and it's different every day. Let's say you do sales on door to door. If you're doing that, there's days where it just seems like it's not coming your way and you just get a bit complacent. Your pitches start to become a little bit shorter and they're not as effective or efficient. You're not building rapport. You're just basically getting the basics out. That's all we did. Get in and around the final third. Barely in the final third, but actually in and around. And let's just shoot. Szoboszlai, I love Szoboszlai, and I think if anyone else in the Premier League had him in their team, they would rate him highly. But that performance was so poor. It's like he knows his ability is so good. That's what beat him in that game because he just kept going for 30-yard ranges that were going absolutely nowhere. And for me, that's a concern because it's like you can't just be so persistent when it's clearly not working out for. I don't mind you having a go. You just scored a world-class goal against West Ham. So I don't mind you having a go. It's just when it's so persistent. Trent was doing it. Salah did not in all games. So on our performance, it was underwhelming. And you let us play. So I think if you tried to play with us, it actually could have went a bit more against you in that way. But you didn't let us actually play the way we wanted to play. So on that part, United done well. But we definitely didn't do enough. We weren't moving the ball quick enough. Players weren't moving off the ball quick enough. It was basic attacking against basic defending, and that ended up in a 0-0 game. On the atmosphere, yeah, mate, like, I know that, like, this whole thing about Anfield, mate, listen, week-to-week basis, there's so many times where we underachieve in terms of noise, in terms of volume. Even after You'll Never Walk Alone stopped, it does go silent a lot of the time. I'm not afraid to admit it. But I'm saying when we're on, no one can dispute, the greatest managers and fans can ever say that does not make a difference or doesn't have an impact. And that's a shame on the fans' part. And I'm not a City fan. I'm not a bitch. If my manager comes out and says, oh, yeah, we need to make more noise, I'm not going to go and cry and go, oh, Daddy Pep, please don't embarrass our silence. Don't expose us.
But what do you think that is? Do you think that's complacency from Liverpool fans? Because you've been so good in recent history, probably over the last 8 years, you've been so good. Do you think that they turn up just expecting a performance now?
Nah, I think it's just a general, like, the people who go to the game. When I say the people, I mean this country now is so dumbed down with people who are so introverted nowadays after lockdown. You know, they get so caught up in their own lives. They end up looking at the game like a day out. It's become so hospitality based. It's no longer like we've got a role as well. Because before, you'll know from when you were younger, there was a role for the fans. You was the 12th man. You were the ones who could make it. Now it's not a role. It's sold to you as an experience. So it's a match day. You get to go and watch the game. You get to go and have some scran. And that's the problem, is that in the main stand, you've got, like, because people say it's just the foreigners. I'm telling you now, mate, like, I've met foreigners at the game and they make quite a lot of noise. Like, in fact, they're more inclined to do it because they've heard about all the atmosphere and whatever have you. Also, you can't expect people who are travelling from halfway across the world to be starting tunes in a stadium full of thousands of people. There's got to be a group of people who go regularly, who initiate those songs, which there is. The Cop End still makes its noise. The Anfield Road End does make noise. But then you look at the main stand, everyone's there scanning the hot dogs, lad. And I do think if I'm Jurgen, I'm right to call out the atmosphere, because what we've just said, we grew up on the fans playing a role, and the fans aren't playing their role right now. The noise was a disgrace. I won't even beat around the bush.
No, it's the same. To be fair, Old Trafford, the Stretford end is always bonkers. Other than that, But there's corporate boxes all around the sides, and it's not as loud. It's not as loud as it used to be. I think it's a universal thing, and like my man said here as well, he said that they've priced a lot of people out going to the games now. Do you know what I mean? So obviously the atmosphere is gonna go. The atmosphere is gonna go with it because it's a different clientele. Like when I had my season ticket, like man was paying over $1,000 for my season ticket, and that didn't even include all the games.
Eh?
You know, like that didn't even include all the games, bro. I had good seats, to be fair. I was behind the dugout, but like over £1,000, and it didn't include all the games. Like you had to opt in for the cup games, and then the cup games were extra. Do you know what I mean? So it was just all the home games in the league, over £1,000. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of people don't have £1,000 to put down up front or to go watch football, bro. And that's not including me traveling 3.5 hours from London to get to the game. Like that's just the ticket.
Got a mish.
Yeah. And then I got to get there. Then I got to eat, and I done it for 3 years. And I was just like, nah. Do you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And I could afford it. But even then, I'm too tired to be screaming when I get there, bro. I've just done a 4-hour trip. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, bro, it's crazy.
But you'd be more inclined to make some noise if everyone else was making noise.
Facts.
Because that's the thing. When you're around people where there's an environment, it's intense, it's loud, you can't help but join in. You know, atmospheres are built through those who are willing to really make it. So the first few people who go for it and everyone tags along, you know, the people effect. We all, you know, one person sings, you're all right to now sing. People are scared to start it themselves. But you're right. It's now got to sort the travel, got to sort the place to stay, got to sort the way back. What time are we going to leave? There's so much around the game, which has always kind of been there, but it's more complicated now. So where it does suck away what I believe is the definition of a football fan experience. I don't think a football fan experience is going, getting scran, being quiet for 45 minutes, get up at half time, go for a piss, come back, sit down and same again. I don't think that should... It should be, you look at it like, today we're going to have a fucking... We're going to go for it, we're going to scream, we're going to whatever, we're going to walk out the stadium voiceless. Like, that's what we miss nowadays. And like you said, it's not even a Liverpool thing. It's definitely something that's affected the whole country.
Oh, 100%.
Because every stadium now... Bro, go and watch games back in the day. It was just constant... They had to lower... Back in the day, they had to lower the volume of the fans down just so you could hear the commentators more regularly than not. Whereas now it's completely switched because it's just all hospitality based. So,
but someone's saying maybe it's you know what it is. I think it is just England, and like when you have season tickets, you still have to pay for away games. And the worst thing about away games is the ticket says £30 on it, bro, because they're capped. Like I paid £300 for Man City away for a £30 ticket. And you get the ticket and it says £30 on it, bro. So Europe and away games, you still need to pay. You could do 10 grand in a season supporting your team if you go home and away. And you do Europe as well. You could easily do 10 grand. Easily, like including travel to the games and all that.
It's like half of most people's wages. And like, you're talking not only just tickets, you're talking accommodation, you're talking food, you're talking all of the other little expenses that come along with a match.
Absolutely. And you have to understand that in Manchester and Liverpool, the average wage is not the same as London either. So, do you know what I mean? For these men to do 10 grand to support their team, like he said, it's half their, sometimes it's half of their man's salary sometimes. It's crazy. It's a crazy amount of money. Do you know what I mean? And, bro, it's not just the late kickoffs, bro. What you got to understand is, wait, Saeed said they got speakers at Anfield. Hey, bro, it's not just late kickoffs, yeah? It's the early kickoffs. We do have toilets. They're just flooded. We have toilets. They're just blocked, but we have toilets, though. You know what I mean? But it's one of them ones where, in England, the timing of the games, Friday, 8:30. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, what, Monday, 8:30. People got work in the morning.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, this is the problem. Like, the Premier League's become so commercialized that when they're scheduling fixtures, they're not scheduling them, for the fans.
Yeah.
They're not. Do you know what I'm saying? It was Tottenham, Nottingham Forest, Friday night.
Yeah.
Friday night. Tottenham, Nottingham Forest on a Friday night at 8 o'clock, So you drive to Notts here from London, that's about 2.5 hours. I've done that drive a few times. So by the time the game finishes, you're getting home 1:30, 2 a.m. on a Saturday morning. What?
Nah, I'm on it.
That's what I mean. And then you wonder why there's no atmosphere.
Yeah.
You wonder why
It's
there's no
everywhere
atmosphere.
now. It's everywhere, and it does suck it out. Like this is why I love the UFC, because the fans are fucking up for it, mate. It might be the only event they ever get to go to. You know what I mean? Like, so they go there, they make the most out of it. It's electrifying. You see someone get knocked out, that undoubtedly brings a reaction out to you. You know, you hear it. It feels it. Even though it's not a stadium full of 80,000 people, like it's so enclosed, it's so good. Whereas now it's just like, you do have sections of the stadiums that are so quiet where it literally does just sound like at times a group of people chanting. Just a group, not like the whole entire stadium. So that's just, you know, it's either what we're going to have to accept, or certain City fans don't get on board with what their manager says. They flip on Pep Guardiola when he brings up atmosphere. When he says, actually buy the tickets and come to the game. He's not having a jibe at them. He's trying to say, like, by the way, you used to have a role as well. So just, like, I know you're paying your money, and I know this, that, and the other, but bring the atmosphere. And I don't think it's a bad thing. The way a manager will call on the players to perform, I don't think it's a bad thing for a manager to call on some atmosphere. It makes it a better experience for everyone, and it spurs the team on.
Yeah, but you know what it is? I think that there's ways of doing that. I think that if, in the modern day, if I was a manager at one of these Premier League clubs, if you want to get the fans involved, then actually get them involved. There's ways of doing it. Do you know what I mean? There's ways of galvanizing the fans, whether it's inviting them to a training session or something or whatever. There's ways of getting the fans involved. Like, you need to get them to buy back into it. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of fans feel very detached from the club at the moment, innit? Because of how football's run. And like, even with this new Super League thing, this is just another thing that's going to make fans even further and further away from their clubs, because your teams are going to be playing all around the world when this Super League happens, bro. You're not going to be able to go to Old Trafford to watch Man United. Man United are going to play Real Madrid in Saudi Arabia, bruv.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. And that's also why the Glazers didn't want to sell the club, because they knew the Super League thing was coming and they knew how much money they were going to make from it. That's why they didn't want to sell the club to the Qataris. It's not actually anything to do with anything else, bro. The Super League, it's funny how the Super League thing's announced right now, bro. Them man had a feeling this was coming and said, you know what?
I knew it was coming.
Let's keep that Super League money coming in.
Yeah, facts. It would be stupid not to. FSG, I don't, chat, has FSG pulled out of it? I know it said the Premier League, but I see Fabrizio Romano doing team by team tweets that they pulled out. I haven't saw anything saying Liverpool have pulled out of it yet. Even if they have, best believe that's only because there's pressure publicly to do so. They know the reaction we got last time. Best believe, mate, our owners and your owners want that Super League. Of course they do. It's a business investment that will get them so much more money. It's more guaranteed. You get bigger games more consistently. That generates numbers. It's a numbers business. I don't care. Like, me and you, we probably give somewhat of a F about sentiment. They don't care about sentiment. Sentiment does not bring the pound signs. What brings the pound signs is big games in big stadiums, promoted in a big way. And that's what will get people to the games. And that's why FSG, the Glazers, they of course want to be on board with that. And you know, like, if the fans were up for it, they'd be well up for it. The only reason why they can't is because the Premier League itself, it's like, what's funny about football? You've got a Premier League fan, but then you're also a Liverpool fan. It's like the way we're both English, but then you're from London, I'm from Liverpool. It's like, it breaks it down. Where at one point we are all going to collectively get together, for instance, when they try and do a Super League, which takes away from the Premier League. So we're going to say, by the way, we don't like this. But best believe, bro, that's what they're aiming for. Day by day, we get closer. And that's exactly, you're bang on. That's exactly why the Glazers wanted to stay. Because they saw dollar signs, brother.
Trust me, bro. Them man said, yo, and that's why they wanted the Qataris to pay a price that took into account the value of the club.
The money they'd miss.
Yeah, in the future. That's why they wanted so much money, because they knew how much money they're going to get. Because you know what it is, yeah? As much as they say, oh, we're not going to join the Super League, what's going to happen is, because I remember initially Bayern Munich were like, nope. But you know what it is? There's going to be so much pressure to do it. It's going to happen eventually, bro. And like, remember the last boxing event, the Ngannou one, and you saw they had concerts and all of that before.
All weird
like,
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, all of that's what football's going to turn. It's going to turn into NFL, the Super Bowl thing with the NBA thing. It's only a matter of time before football gets Americanized, bruv. And we got American owners, so we're going to be involved.
How many times can you put on a Champions League type game That's what they want. Because how much hype is around the Champions League? You've got big superstars coming and singing before the games, which generates millions and millions of views. The aim of the game, for us two, for football clubs, how many eyes can we get on our product? And the product increases when you start including celebrities and you start including big names and you start making it a show. The reason why that Ngannou event generated so much was because it weren't just Ngannou Fury. Ronaldo went there. The best of the best boxers went.
Everyone, all the celebs were there, bruv. Even Eminem was there, bro. It was weird. Undertaker and Vince McMahon, bruv.
Did you see the photo of all the combat celebrities of history just all in one photo?
Yeah, all in one room.
Bro, and now they're doing the Day of Reckoning in Saudi, where you've got Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua on the same card. You know,
on the same card, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? They got them. They got Bevo on that card. They've got
Bevo's on the card.
Bevo's on the card. Bevo's on the card. AJ.
You've also got the
Wilder
from Manchester fighting thingy as well.
Yeah, he's fighting Bevo. Arthur, Lyndon Arthur.
What's his name again?
Lyndon Arthur.
Lyndon Arthur. Yeah. That's a massive fight for him.
Bro, there's some big fights there, bro. I'm telling you. Like, there's some big fights, man. So, and then you've got Daniel Dubois fighting that steroid head Miller. As well. Big Baby Miller, bro.
Miller, yeah.
Like, nah, bro, I'm telling you.
He was there like that fucking Chester. Tony Bell said in the background, he was like, he's on more steroids than the Incredible Hulk.
Bro, trust me, listen. Big Pharmacy Miller, bro. I'm telling you, fam. I'm telling you 100%. And you know what it is, yeah? I saw a post on Instagram. I'm trying to find it.
Miller just came out. While you're finding that, Miller came out and was like, to Eddie Hearn, he was like, why didn't you back me the way that you backed friggin' Conor Ben and all that? And he was like, because I know you take shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, man. No, big pharmacy, bro. I'm telling you, man, like Pfizer Miller, bro. I'm telling you, he been on it, bro. He been on that stuff. I'm trying to find it. It was the top. It was like the top, I think, 5 leagues in the world in terms of what they generate, and the Champions League. I think the Champions League is the second highest generated league behind the Premier League in how much money it generates. It generates more. The only leagues that generate more money than the Premier League are the NFL and the NBA.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying. NFL, NBA, and then the Premier League and the Champions League generate more than La Liga and more than Serie A, more than Bundesliga, the Champions League. And the Champions League literally is only a certain number of games as well. Like, when you actually deep it, bro, it's crazy.
Yeah. But you know what, Dom? If you're sitting there in the shoes, right? And I know we want to talk about the game a little bit more, at least I do, but before we do, like, the way that these look at, like, you can't actually blame them, because it makes sense that if you're generating the most money out of anyone, because you've got the biggest players, you win the biggest games, you get into the biggest stadium, like, it makes sense that you think to yourself, like, why are, let's say if you're Real Madrid, why are Sociedad also, I think it's a bit different in La Liga, but let's just say for this example, Sociedad, why are they getting a certain percentage that's what we get? I think in La Liga, Real Madrid and Barcelona get more.
They get more, yes. In the Premier League, everyone splits it equally.
There we go. So yeah, if you're Man United and you're sitting there going, why is Nottingham Forest getting the percentage of this area of the finances that we are, when we quite clearly bring the majority of the eyes in the league, whether we win or we lose, we're box office. So what, from their point of view, I completely understand what they're trying to do. It's only the fans that can stop it.
Yeah, because how often are Nottingham Forest on TV? You know, like that. It's like when you look at it, it's like people are not here for you, bruv. Do you know what I mean? This is the reason why. This is the reason why in women's football they don't get paid as much as men's football, because, bruv, no one's here to watch you. You know, like that. So yeah, so it wouldn't make sense for Nottingham Forest and Luton to get the same amount as the other teams. It really shouldn't. It shouldn't be that way.
Because it's a money game.
Yeah. But it does but that's what makes the league stronger, though, at the same time. So
it does.
So it makes the league more competitive, because it means that the lower teams.
Better product.
Yes, it does. But you could argue that's the reason why the Premier League is the most watched league in the world, is because obviously all the teams have more money, so it's more
Yeah.
competitive. But
Yeah.
also they can afford to bring more teams can afford to bring the best players in the world to the country because more teams have money. If Real Madrid and Barca are the only two teams that can potentially sign top players, it just means that all the top players only go to two teams in Spain, whereas we've got top players
It
in
makes it
every
worse.
single team.
Yeah, it makes it worse overall, for sure. And I
Do you know what I
agree with
mean?
that. I do agree with that, the Premier League. But Man United, they aren't the Premier League. Yes, they need the Premier League to thrive so that they have a platform to showcase themselves. But in a sense of, if they can go into a different league, which I know it doesn't take away from the Premier. I think the Super League is something. They're planning it to be something different. I don't even know the format they're trying to use now, to be honest.
They're just trying to use it to replace the Champions League, innit?
Yeah, I was thinking it was just that, innit? But, like, if you are Man United, in a way, you have a right to sit there and say and go, listen, like, I deserve more money in this sense because I'm generating the most. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about money. You know what I mean? So, but like you said, everyone getting money makes the overall product better. And, like, you'd even see, like, big-name players going to mad teams. You know, like crazy teams. Like, where didn't Keylor Navas go to friggin' Nottingham Forest last year?
He did. Yep.
There you go. There's an example. Like, whenever was a 3-time Champions League winner go and join Nottingham Forest, it's rare, unless you're in the Prem.
Yeah, facts. It's a weird one, you know, because there's pros and cons for the Super League. Obviously, the pros are you don't really get to see maybe the smaller teams, but then I could say the smaller teams. But Man United lost to Copenhagen and what they called the Turkish team, Galatasaray. We lost to both of them. So do you know what I mean? As much as I say that, and also I don't like the fact that teams are almost getting there on merit. Like, not getting there on merit.
Off merit, which doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're not getting in there off merit. We're getting there off the size of the club. It's like cool. Yeah. But again, that's kind of like the NBA. It's kind of the American model where it's like you kind of buy your way in as a franchise, and then once you're there, innit? You don't get relegated. So that's the kind of model they're trying to do, innit? They're like, you know what? They're trying to do like a kind of NBA model, which I get, and it makes a lot of.
It's because in America that'll grow more, bro. Like in America, that will grow so much more if they take that approach. Like England is a big market for football, no doubt, but it's like. They probably won't mind pissing off a couple of fans if it means generating so much more interest from Saudi, from America, from Asia. These places, for sure, there's massive financial incentives for them.
Of course they are, because all they're doing is they're bringing together all the football teams with the biggest fan bases, because that's what you do, because the biggest teams have the biggest fan bases by default. So if you get your Man United, your Liverpools, your Barcelonas, your Bayern Munichs, your Real Madrids, and these clubs, your Arsenals, you basically get 90% of the football fans on the globe, and stick them all into one competition. Like, and the thing is with the NBA, like they've got the NBA app where you just pay monthly. Do you know what I mean? I think it's like £15. You get all the games, and it's just like, and that's cheaper than Sky Sports.
Yeah.
So it's one of them ones where if they do that and they get the billions of fans that are going to obviously watch the Super League, bro, everyone's caking, bruv. Like, they're absolutely caking. So from a business point of view, if I was Man United owner, I'd be like, this makes way more sense to me. Like, it makes way more sense to me because you're playing against the bigger teams. You get to grow your brand. There's more money in your pocket as well. Like, there's not really any cons to it, other than the fact that if you're a manager, maybe in the Super League, remember before in Europe, you might want to play some youngsters. Do you know what I mean? When you've got like some weaker teams in your group and that, probably it's going to be harder now to play some youngsters if you're always playing a Real Madrid or a Bayern Munich or something like that. There's no quote unquote easy games. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that. That's about it.
But what people need to look at it through the lens. Because I don't want this. I don't really. I mean, they're already changing the Champions League anyway, so it's kind of already. It's going to be one or the other. You know what I mean? Where you're playing more games and stuff. But look at it through the lens of how is Dana White built the UFC? Yeah, look at the position the UFC's in right now in the welterweight division. I know Conor McGregor's a lightweight, but when he returns, he'll be 170. What would they rather do? Would they rather put Leon Edwards, the reigning defending champion, against Bilal Muhammad, who, yes, on merit, deserves a title shot? Or if Conor McGregor calls back and says, actually, I want Leon at UFC 300,
it makes more sense financially to put him against Conor.
It's a numbers-based business. It generates more fan interest. It gets more pay-per-view buys, and that is what the base of the success of the UFC is pay-per-view buys, fan interest, numbers, and that's what you've got to look at it like. Yeah, it might be unfair on teams like Nottingham Forest, but it doesn't matter because it's like you don't have the numbers that we have, so therefore there's no incentive for us to, based on merit, you qualify. Let's say Man United didn't qualify. Well, now you're missing out on a big portion of the eyes drawn into that tournament. What are you going to do? You're going to try and keep them in there, whatever means necessary.
I think the only people that it's really going to affect is maybe the Conference League. Because if you think, that the top teams leave the Champions League, the next best teams are probably going to end up in the Champions League because they're not going to fold the Champions League. UEFA are not going to fold the competition, which means that you're still going to have Champions League and Europa League. And then the league below that, it's going to be pointless. Like, who the hell is going to be in that league? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make no sense, the Conference League.
They'll find a way to get more teams in there.
Yeah, unless they just condense the Champions League. And because why have you got 3 competitions now if the top teams are dropping out of the top one? That's the only thing. But I think if it means that more of the other teams could play European football in the Premier League, it might improve them as well, to be honest. Do you know what I'm saying? It might improve them.
Possibly. It's interesting, because from the business point of view, it makes a lot of sense. But then from the fan spectacle, which we've grown up on, which is like the basics, you can. What's good about the Premier League and what's good about the Champions League? There's so many little incentives all the way through. Like, you're not truly out of Europe if you don't qualify second. You can get Europa League, or second will qualify you, but now you're going to play a certain team. You're going to play first place in another group. You know what I mean? Like, there's loads of little cool things that keeps people invested. And I remember watching this MMA show. It's Ariel Helwani, right? I remember watching him one time. He's been getting a bit more into footy. And he just simply said, what I like about the Premier League in comparison to, the NBA. There's so many teams in the NBA, it gets to a certain point in the season, and they're not competing for nothing except just a couple of wins. Whereas...
just to make the playoffs,
Yeah, but in the Prem, what Ariel was excited for was the fact, you can get promoted and teams who finish in the top 4 finish in Champions League. And if you get relegated, there's 3 teams, and then 3 teams from the division below can go to the division above. And he was breaking it down. What makes it exciting is these extra incentives. So they'd have to probably keep multiple formats so they can, because that's what makes football so good, is you're always competing for something more likely than not. Even if it's just a Champions League qualification or something.
Yeah, for sure. In England, the top 8 are playing for something.
Europe.
You know what I'm saying? The top 8 are playing for Europe, and then the bottom half are trying not to go down. So they got to play for that. There's very few teams in the Premier League that are playing for nothing. If you're between 10th and 15th, do you know what I mean? But even then, most of the time in the Premier League, last 5 games of the season, relegation's not decided already. Do you know what I'm saying? Because of how it always works out. So because of how it works out, it's like they're always playing for something. And this is exactly why they started the in-season tournament in the NBA. And they're already talking about, all right, cool, maybe they should guarantee a play-in position for the team that wins the in-season tournament. They said playoffs, but I don't think you can guarantee a playoff position for a team this early on in the season, because the season starts in October and the tournament's done already in December. So if you're guaranteed playoffs in December, what have you got to play for the rest of the season? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. So if anything, they should be guaranteed a play-in spot at the very least. Do you know what I mean? But there needs to be some sort of incentive to win that competition other than $500,000. It's 500 grand or something like that. No. 500 grand per player or something like that, which is nothing to these guys on hundreds of $1 million contracts. Do you know what I mean? Like even LeBron and them lot said they're just going to give that money to the rookies, 500 grand. That's nothing to the guy's a billionaire.
What?
500 grand ain't shit to him. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He told the rookies, the 3 rookies in the team, yo, we win the tournament, you man are good. because them man
Yeah.
they ain't even on guaranteed contracts. So
Yeah.
it's one of them ones where there needs to be more incentives in sport to keep it competitive.
That's right.
And that's the thing. Like the Super League, everyone gets paid for entering. So how competitive is it really going to be?
Yeah.
That's the
It's
thing.
not.
How competitive is it going to be? Really, it's just going to be a showcase. It's
It's
going to be a
it's
glorified
numbers based.
exhibition.
Yeah, it's weird. It's because you can't sell a pre-season game like that. They try. I think they tried to do that with pre-season tournaments, didn't they? Get the biggest of the biggest teams against each other and get them competing for something. But then people have become so accustomed to the traditional trophies, the league title, the domestic cups, and then the continental cups. They're the ones that matter. Anything else, a little pre-season trophy. In fact, you'll probably get the piss taken out of you if you celebrate it. So they've realised that doesn't work. Let's make something that in the hierarchy sits above the Champions League. So then we have got the biggest of the biggest teams going up against each other, but we're also getting the numbers that come along with it. Because with all due respect, when Man United play Copenhagen, what a game, what a spectacle. Man United are generating all the numbers, whether it's their fans watching the game or whether it's other fans like me who want to come in and tune in to see United lose. Either way, United are getting people watching. That's massive. Therefore, that guaranteed place in the Super League for what the Super League is meant to be is actually deserved. So then what you've got to say is should the sole sort of entry ticket be finances? Should it be interest? Well, that's exactly what it's being built for. That's what they're looking to expand the sport, and the only way they'll
It's
do
a
that
money
is by
spinner.
their big brands. Exactly.
It's a money spinner. That's exactly what it is. They're just trying to do the NBA model. That's all they're trying to do with this Super League. And it's like, I completely understand it from a business point of view, but from a fan point of view, I don't understand why it's good for the game. Like, it's not really. Do you know what I mean? It's going to take the game even further away from the football fans. And this is the thing, and this is why I say to people, like, I can love my club without being emotionally attached to my club. I'm not emotionally attached to them because I know, like, club don't care about me, bro. Like, this is just how it is, because Man United and Liverpool are two English clubs, but at the end of the day, they're global brands, bro. So they're no more our clubs than anyone that's watching in Saudi or in India or in Thailand. Like, bro, we're all the same to them. We're just a number. Like, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how long you supported the club. It doesn't matter your proximity to the club. It's a global brand.
If anything, they probably like fans from across the world more than me and you.
They spend more money.
So because we're not going to go to the stadium and buy shirts and all this, that, we might get some food if we really need to. Otherwise, we're not buying nothing. What do fans when they travel to? Buy shit. They go into the club stores.
100%. And the thing is, when I was growing up, I used to get the United kit every Christmas. It used to be a Christmas present. I used to get every year. I knew what I was getting every single year. But that was the only time we would buy shirts. Do you know what I mean? Guys abroad and that, they'll have all... Bro, the third kit is for the foreign fans, bro.
Yeah.
Because we hardly ever wear it. Like, most teams don't really wear their third kit. The whole third kit, every team had a third kit in some random colours, and that was for the international fans, bro. Like, we never used to wear the third kits, hardly ever. Like, growing up, my team always had 2 kits, and then all of a sudden we had 3. Do you know what I'm saying? And then it was like, the third kit, the colours had nothing to do with the badge, always. Yeah. Nothing to do with the thing. Like, Man United had a pink kit before. All of these things, like, this has got nothing to do with the club. Like, the club's never had a pink kit before. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, all these random colours that we just started having, it's got nothing to do with the club. It's finances, bro.
Facts. It's like when you see them multicoloured shirts and you're just there, like, it looks like someone's made that in, like, some factory in, like, Turkey or something, and then say it is a version of the Man United shirt or something. That's what some of the third kits do look like. They look quite cool, some of them, but like you said, there's not much meaning behind them besides just another kit. There was also a point in time, weren't there, where, like, didn't the kit change every, like, 2-3 years or something?
Yeah. When I was growing up, we used to keep the same kit for 2 or 3 seasons until the sponsor on the front changed or something like that. You know them ones. So it's one of them ones where if Man United had a home kit, I knew at least 2 seasons I had that Man United home kit. Yeah. So for 1 year I might get the home kit, the next year I might get the away kit. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I knew that we'd have them for a while. Now every single season they change kits, bro. And this is a recent thing. This isn't recent. This has happened because it wasn't always like this. It
Yeah,
wasn't
facts.
always like this.
Facts, bro.
See, like,
Facts.
that's what I mean. A lot of the younger guys watching this, they wouldn't know no different. They just think that teams always get new kits every year. No, that is why. That's exactly why, yeah. When we watch football, like our old videos, and we see a certain kit, we say, oh yeah, this kit reminds me of that player. Because we
Yeah.
remember when we signed that player and we were in that kit for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Like 2 years, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones where there's certain kits where, see, like, say in '08, we had that kit for 2 years. That's what I'm trying to say. So there's loads of Man United kits, and every time I see a kit, I'm like, it reminds me of this player at that time. It's just like the Man United 90, I think it was 94 to 96 or 95 to 97 kit reminds me of Eric Cantona, because I remember he was doing dirt in that kit, bro, with the collar up. And it's like, man had that kit for a couple years. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, I remember, like, I got used to seeing players in these kits. Now, every year there's a new kit. It's like, you can't even associate players with kits anymore, because it's like, we get a new kit every year. Like, a lot of these Man United players that have been at the club, I've seen them in about 8, 9 different football kits, bro. Whereas, growing up, a player might stay at your club for 5 years. You only see them in 2 kits.
Yeah.
You know, like that. So,
Lads,
that's just what it is.
consumerism.
It's
Like,
completely
consumerism is
completely
mad,
different.
honestly. I'm telling you now.
Completely different.
Consumerism is crazy. It's like we become consumers more and more by the day, to a point where, like, we literally buy online nowadays, bro. You know what I mean? Like, anything we want to buy, we can just get right there and then. Like, we are built to be consumers in sport and in life, and it's just, the clubs are going to take on that, because again, it's like, it's not really about heritage. Like, yes, heritage can come hand in hand with finances, but it's not the direct correlation that will generate you the monies. What will generate you the monies is the numbers. What will generate you the monies is the me and you tuning in and buying their products. Like, that's what generates it. So the heritage gets all out the window. So, lads, it's sad, but then you've got to kind of choose what you are a consumer to, in a way. So, yeah.
Oh, facts. And this is it as well. Same with EA Sports. Every year there's a new FIFA. It's a cash grab. Because all they could do, yeah, bro, they could just let you download an update. Because, bro, technology, yeah, in gaming don't
And update
advance.
the players.
Yeah.
Update the players.
They'll
and
just give
update
you
the
they
game.
could give you an update, even if they said, right, you could pay for an update.
Yeah.
But then they wouldn't get enough money. Like, they're making you pay
people aren't
£70
gonna
for
say-
games now.
Yeah, because people aren't going to say, I'm not paying £70 for an update. You know what I mean? Like,
But that's
you're
what I'm trying to say.
But for a whole new game, a whole new product, you don't mind paying that as much because it's new.
And the thing is, the gameplay is the same. Like, if you play FIFA,
Yeah,
they make you feel like, bro, they proper make you feel like they make you feel like it's a new game. It's exactly the same.
Oh, but there's better net graphics. Oh, it's like, stop being bitches. What do you mean? There's better net graphics. I was very happy in FIFA 14 when the graphics were. I was very happy. You know what I mean? I was very
bro,
happy FIFA 10, FIFA
bro,
08,
but this is
FIFA
what I'm
06.
trying to say. Like, instead of just letting you download an update, they'll add a new game in a new mode in the game or something like that. But the gameplay is exactly the same.
What?
Do you know what I mean? And then they just mess with like the game speed or something like that and make you feel like you've got a new game. It's the exact same game, bro. Like, it probably will take them 4 or 5 years, yeah, to improve the game. This is why Grand Theft Auto don't come out that regularly, because it's like there's only so much you can improve GTA without letting time pass for new things to be discovered and new things to actually be added to the game. Really, these video games should be coming out every 4 years or something like that, because it's all the same.
Yeah, facts. Facts.
All the same. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it is.
Because once you've got a certain number of changes to make, it's like, it does get to a point where you're like, we actually might as well make a new product. But it's a case of that. It's like what you're saying. It's every year now. It's like, it's not necessary. Usually they'll only implement 1 or 2 things. That's different from last year anyway. Some things might look different. The main attraction is what happens in real life. Like, I can't wait to use what was a big summer trend? Yeah, maybe if you're a Chelsea fan, I cannot wait to use Nkunku in a Chelsea squad in comparison to last year when I couldn't do that. That actually motivates people to go and spend 50, 60, 70 quid on a game just because now Nkunku is in a Chelsea shirt. You know what I mean? Like, it's wild. It's wild.
And that's just a little update. They could really shot you the update for £20, but then they lose out on another 60, 70 quid that they could fleece from you. Do you know what I mean? And this is all that's all it is with these kits, guys. Because the thing is, the new kit that comes out next year is not gonna be any better material. It's not gonna be any more better at absorbing sweat or anything like that. There's no new technology. It's just a new kit with colours that has nothing to do with your football club. You know, like that. Man City running around looking like Aston Villa, bro, now. Like, what's that about? I saw a video of Jack Grealish, and I was thinking, right, is that Villa? Bro, it's Man City. No, the other way round. He was in a Villa kit, scored a mad goal for Villa, realised it was Villa. And it's the same colours as the Man City kit, bro. With the claret and blue. It's the exact same. Like, I saw the Grealish goal. I didn't realise the goal was like 5 years old, bruv. Because the kit looks the same.
Yeah,
it's like, why the Man City look like Aston Villa, bro? Yeah. That doesn't make no sense. Don't even make no sense to me. It's like these men are just running out of stuff. Like Man United are running around with a cream kit, bro. Like with the Qatari colours, a cream kit with a burgundy colour. Like everyone's got a burgundy on there. City got a burgundy on there. It's like, what? That's colour of the season. And then everyone's going to be wearing another kit next season with the same colour. It's a load of nonsense, bro. Football's not about football no more. Football not about football no more. Like in any way, shape or form, bro. Like it's literally, like as a football fan, you are literally just a customer, innit? And when you understand that, it will help you understand more the decisions that your clubs make off the field.
That's the biggest, in fact, the greatest trick that they pull as well, is making you think it's out of all sentiment. That's brilliant, the way they pull that off. It's brilliant because they genuinely delude masses of millions of supporters into thinking we give a fuck about you and we care about the history of this football club. It's like, no, mate. It's like, no, mate. If you look into it, like, not really, because you won't be doing half the shit that you're doing. But people just don't look beneath the surface. It's all emotion and amazing 1 minute TikToks of emotional football and how, like, football respect, which is nice. But it's just not that deep, you know what I mean, for a lot of the time in football. So, yeah, lads, I agree. Consumerism's taking over the game.
No, 100%. So don't be surprised by the Super League. Even if our clubs are saying, "Oh yeah, we're not going to get involved," maybe we won't. Maybe we won't initially, but there's going to be so much pressure from outside, and then on top of that, a lot of these guys will be connected. The Liverpool owners will be connected to the Man United owners. All these American owners are connected, bruv. All these men, were sitting in the Trump administration, and all these guys, you can guarantee that one phone call away.
All of them. Once one person who's above all of them says, "Boys, doesn't matter what you say, get together." What happened? Yeah, you'll know because you watch boxing. Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren, you know that rivalry if you're a boxing fan. Like, you know, they don't do shit together. But then the Saudis came and said, "Well, by the way, boys, see this little petty bullshit that you've got going on? Put it to the side because we've got a big event to make."
You've got money to make, yeah.
Who's above Liverpool, or let's say FSG and the Glazers, and get them together and go, "Boys, by the way, this is better for the business." They can't say nothing then. They can't, because they've got their boss saying stuff to them. So
100%. Yeah, bro, listen, money talks, bro. Listen, people are willing to put feuds aside or even their beliefs aside for the right amount of money, bro. Look, like, most people in the world have a price, innit? Like, it doesn't matter how high it is, bro. It's the same. Look at KSI and Logan Paul. They're best friends now.
Yeah.
You know, like that, because there was money to make. Yeah. And now they got all these little kids running around like crack fiends, do you know what I mean? For all them numbers, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, when there's a bag to make, like, trust me, people will put their differences aside and they'll do what they need to do. And when you look at Todd Bowie, you look at FSG, you look at Stan Kroenke or his son, whoever's in charge at Arsenal, and then you look at the Glazers as well. Between the four of them Americans, bro, it only takes one of them to sign the paper and they all sign.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think it's definitely going to happen. I think it's a matter of when, not if. I just think at the beginning, there'll be some performative resistance in it early on, saying, "Oh, no, we're going to do what the fans want." But as soon as other teams are in it, they might even wait and not go in immediately and say, "You know what, we'll let it start now. Let the fans watch the product. And then if we realize our fans are watching it anyway," because that's what's going to happen. Loads of Man United fans, Liverpool fans will say, "Oh, no, fuck the Super League and that." But when it's on, they're going to watch it anyway.
Yeah.
They're going to watch it. Do you know what I mean? And then when they do, And then when they do watch it and you see the figures, they're gonna be like, well, boy, our fans are watching it anyway, so he might as well be in it. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, facts, and it's unofficial as well to like how many people support one club. You know, like you can't judge a club's amount of supporters on followers, for instance, because it's not just fans who follow their team. There's fans of Chelsea who follow Man United, and there's 100%. Vice versa for everyone. So it just matters. A Chelsea fan tuning into a Man United game is just as valuable as you tuning into a United game. It's just as. It doesn't matter. So all that now we need to do is aim. How do we just get as many individuals? Fuck what do they support? I don't care if you support into Miami or friggin' Sunderland. If we can get you tuning into our product, I've won. I've made money. I've pleased my advertisers. I'm getting money, baby. Yeah, that's all it is. So it's possible. It's doable. And what the chat need to realise is that there's always a boss above the boss. There's always a boss above the boss. It's like what Putin said. Do you remember when Putin came out and he was like, yeah, I've met multiple, US presidents, and some of them have got fantastic ideas, but
they're not in charge.
They get shut down from someone who's above them, from the people in the black suits. It's like,
yeah, but you still got Congress. Like, they can't pass anything without getting the votes from Congress, and a lot of the time, like, they can just turn around and say this ain't gonna run. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, they can say, oh yeah, nice idea, but yeah, we're not passing this. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones. Like, I literally just finished watching Scandal as well. That's what's funny, yeah. And it's like, it tells you, bro, the way the US is set up. It is what it is. We all know that. Do you know what I mean? You got Congress behind, and then obviously, then you've got your little secret spy agency that really run the country. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
But it's not just the country though. Like, what should have gave it away? I'll just call it the cough. When the cough arrived in 2020, everybody sat there and said, "Let's shut down." Whenever does everyone agree on something?
To be fair, Sweden said we're not closing, but that was about it. Sweden was still open, and I think one other place. No one don't give a shit about Sweden.
Make the meeting. They probably missed the email. By the way, boys, we've got a meeting. They probably just didn't see it. Lads, I'm telling you now, like, the fact that everyone shut down at once, people should be asking questions. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be careful with my language, but you know what I mean. It happens in every realm. Politics, beyond politics, friggin' football. So it's going to happen probably here as well.
No, 100%. It's only a matter of time, bro. Do you know what I mean? We live in a society where it's like, it's all about peer pressure, innit? Like, that's all it is. And the thing is, what they do very well, yeah, and that's why they use the media, is they'll scare you into giving them power. They'll scare you into giving them power, into giving up your freedom. That's what they do. That's what they did with the cough. They'll scare you into giving up your freedom, and then before you know it, everywhere you go to eat, yeah, you need a special app, and you need to put your email address in, and you need to let them know that you're there. We thought that was a coincidence. I remember when I bought my futsal club, yeah, like, after the first training session that I took over, I took everyone out to Box Park to eat, and they were like, oh, if you don't have the Box Park app, then we can't let you in. So I had to go back to my car to get my phone, to download the app, to scan something, just to let them know I was in the building. Like, it's not even to pay, just to let man know I was there, bruv. Do you know what I mean? And what, you think that was a coincidence? Come on, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying?
I could go into a deep dive here, mate, because like there's reasons why they do stuff like that, but it's not the platform. You know what I'm saying?
It's not. I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. When you know. When you can't even say what you want, yeah, you know this world is finished. You know what I mean? It's finished, bro.
The fact we now come up with code words and shit, the cough. It's like,
broski,
you can't even do nothing,
bruv. When you have to talk in code, you know the world is finito, bruv. You know, like that. And this is what I'm saying, bro. This is what I'm saying. Like, even with the Mason Greenwood thing, it's like, he's getting like king's praise, you know, in Spain. He's absolutely tore Atletico Madrid's like a new one the other night. Antoine Griezmann's like, we couldn't deal with him. Bro, Man United didn't bring him back because they was upset because the women's team that they formed like 2 weeks ago is getting upset, bruv. Listen, you didn't exist the other day, bruv. Like, I mean, Man United only made a women's team because they felt the pressure to have. They never wanted one. We were the last one to the party. You know, like that. It's one of them was like, we never had a women's team. And now all of a sudden, yeah, they're going to decide whether Maybach comes back like, bro, like, we formed you like 2 weeks ago. Do you understand what I'm saying? And this is the point. And this is
Yeah.
exactly the point now. Society's in a place now where it's like, these lot are upset. So now we're going to go against all of our better judgment because Greenwood is worth more to the club than the whole women's team, if we're being honest.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
like that. He's
Yeah.
worth more to the club than the whole team. Like,
It's not even
because
close.
if
Not
the
even
team
close.
was worth that much to the club, yeah, we would have had one before a couple years ago. The reason why we didn't have a team is because financially it didn't make sense. Do you know what I'm saying? That's
It
the
also
reason.
wasn't as needed at the time. Like, if you think about the general consensus on women in inclusion and stuff like that, it wasn't as prevalent 5-10 years ago. Of course, it's always been growing, but now it's like women have got to get involved in every last thing that anyone ever does. So you get a bit more pressure from that. I wouldn't be surprised if someone belled them up and being like, listen, like, you've got to do this for this, this, and this. It's good for the brand for this reason.
Of course, bro. Man United got that team, yeah, purely for PR reasons. No other reasons. Not because it makes money, because it probably loses money. Do you know what I mean? Just like the WNBA loses money. Do you know what I'm saying? So what you got to understand is, yeah, if a few of them are upset, and that's the difference between Mason, yeah, playing for Man United again and not playing for Man United again. Logically, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Do you know what I'm saying? Not from a business point of view, it makes no sense. Do you know what I mean? And from an ethical point of view, again, yeah, it also makes no sense. Like, this is an emotional argument, and you have to keep emotional arguments out of everything, bro. That's the reason why, yeah, we have a legal system and a justice system. Like, we don't send people to prison on feelings, bro. We send people to prison on verdicts, bro, and there's a due process that goes through before people get arrested. You can't say, "Oh, send my man to jail because I feel like he done something." But your feelings are not facts. That's why we have procedures.
Yes.
And he was not sentenced to anything. He was not convicted of anything. So what's the problem? Do you know what I'm saying?
I think people believe, like, body language is evidence nowadays. Like, body language, the way you act, like, they associate that with evidence, and evidence is obviously what's compiled to come to a conclusion on whether or not you're guilty or not guilty. And that's why people have a problem, because they now think that their mind is some sort of valuable testimony that holds weight in the court of law, which obviously just isn't the case. You need to compile a certain type of evidence, which, like what you says, it gets you closer to the facts and not feelings. So people do struggle with that. And that's why you see a lot of football fans crying about the Super League, but they're the same fans who are tuning into it anyway.
They're going to watch it anyway. And that's the thing. If football fans are really upset about the Super League, the best thing you can do is boycott the Super League, kill their numbers, and then that's how you hurt them. You hit them in the pockets.
But it's the community feel, isn't it? It's like one won't stand up because they might think they're the only one to do it. This is why they do so well, because, like, even in like 1800s and then early 1900s, the emphasis was put nationally to make everyone more separated, get people out of the homes, get people out of the communities, and then get them where we want them, which is in work and factories and schools, for instance. And the reason is because it discombobulates the actual structure of the home, which then means you've got nothing in which you're chasing for. There's no real purpose. You're just there to... If money is the most important thing, and we make you believe that this paper, which we print, is the most important thing, you're now going to chase that above the connection with your family, for instance, or, you know, becoming self-sufficient, making your own farm, growing your own food. Instead, you're going to rely on the food that we give, the manufactured stuff, like fruits without seeds, which is crazy. So that's are you on to me, bro? You're on to me, aren't you? You're eating plastic, chat. Be careful, make sure the seeds. But yeah, mate, like, it's the overall consensus that even in football, they know. Like, yeah, how many people in society know that whether you want to call it the government or you want to call it, like, above the government, like, you know something fuck's going on. You know that you're getting bent over, but no one doesn't take a stand because they're too scared of everyone not taking a stand with them. They make us tribal, so they'll separate us. They'll make a belief that's important, and then no one's actually brave enough to take a stance. on whatever it is that they believe. And it's the same with football fans will do the same thing. They'll see, yeah, I don't like the Super League, but Rants has now bought into the Super League. Oh, I like Rants. Why is he watching the Super? Oh, he's watching it for this. Do you know what? I'll now watch it. It's the sheep effect. It's the knock-on effect, and it will happen all in due course. It's just a matter of when, not if.
Bro, that's the society that we live in now, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? It's the external pressure. Like even this thing, my man's saying a lot of these cases aren't prosecuted, yeah. But bro, look at the Anthony situation. That just disappeared. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That just disappeared, and no one's saying, "Oh, you know what? Even though he didn't get prosecuted, he's still guilty. He's back playing football, and nobody seems to care, bro." And this is why I'm telling you, yeah, the difference between Anthony and Mason, yeah, was the audio. That's all it was. And this is what I'm saying. A lot of people's reasonings for why Mason shouldn't play again, it's all emotional, and none of it's logical. None of it is logical because, bro, like we know in it, like the Anthony situation. He's saying, "Oh, I didn't do nothing, bro." I'm seeing you kick 6-foot man that would break you in half on the football pitch. You definitely did that shit. I know you did. You know, like that, because it's like if you can't control your temper, yeah, because there's certain man, yeah, that I know, yeah, I know for a fact that they've put their hand on gal, but they would never put their hand on other men because they know they would get smoked. Anthony's up here sizing guys, yeah, that eat bigger bowls of cereal than him. And you're trying to tell me that he never lost his head once, yeah, bro. He did it. He did it, bro. Do you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, I grew up in the hood with loads of lowlifes, bro. Like, I know a guy that can't control his emotions when I see one. Because I grew up around them. You know, like, I grew up around a lot of them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up in a school with guys that were putting hands on girls at, like, 14 years old. You know what they're like. You can see the signs, bro. When certain men are just emotionally unstable, they can't control their emotions. He's one of them youths. He did that shit. And that has gone away. And nobody's talking about it. You know why? Because there was no recording. The bro had to fly all the way back to Brazil. And you think that nothing was going on, bro. And the difference between the Anthony ones just disappeared and no one's talking about it no more. This guy's had to pack up with his newborn baby and his girlfriend and leave and go to another country, bro, because of a recording.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And like even the Jonathan Majors thing is a mad thing as well. He got dropped from Marvel, yeah? Even though there was video evidence to suggest that he didn't do nothing other than push the woman off him when she was attacking him, bro, and then he ran away from her. Like, she attacked him in the car. There's a video recording of her attacking him. He pushed her and ran, bro. And then he got done for assault, bruv. He lost his job. Why did he lose his job?
Wait, where was that?
Bruv, oh my days, fam.
Was it in this country?
Yeah, no, in America.
Oh, in America?
In America.
What, he pushed, so she assaulted him first. He pushed her and then ran.
He pushed her and she chased him when he ran.
And he got nicked. So,
bro,
and he got nicked.
Nah, he lost his job, innit? He got done.
Oh.
Bro, he got done, yeah? He got done for assault because he dashed the woman off him, yeah? And ran from her and she chased him. She was beating him up. Yeah, well, she was trying to. Bro, nah, but you know what it is? They felt like they had to let him go anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is, because the pressure from outside.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And this is exactly what it is. It's the pressure from outside that got him done. And there's video evidence.
The media do that, you know. The media are so good at that. They push a narrative. They push a very specific narrative. They do it all the time. Like this is why I respected Wilfred Zaha for coming out and calling out BLM. By the way, I respected it so much. It was like if you look at the intricacies of that situation, it was a money grab, mate. You know what I mean? Like not to take away from the overall message, but that wasn't to help black people.
Nah, it was performative. That was something else.
You, they were using black people. This is why I was.
They were.
About it.
That was the players above. That was the people above saying, you know what? Let's shut these darkies up, yeah? We'll get on our knee and make it look like we're doing something.
Like we give a fuck. But
that's what they. That's what they did. That's what they did. 100%.
I was sitting there with a kid in work one time, and he said political or lefty, right? And that's like sound because you can't have a productive discussion as long as you're willing to. And I just said to him, like, name me one productive thing that BLM have done for black people on a greater scale. And he names me like they were influenced. No, sorry, they set a campaign to get a black mayor elected in one of the cities in America. Again, answer me fucking question. What have they done for the greater good? It's all patronising, it's all money grabbing, and they're using a specific type of person to attract that. They literally, they are taking the literal piss out of our brains.
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense. Makes no sense.
Bro, it's mad. Like, the thing is, they would do the kneeling, and it's like, cool. Forget kneeling, yeah? If you want to show, man, yeah? If you want to show us that you're taking this thing seriously, increase the punishments for racial hate crimes. Instead of giving someone an $8,000 fine. What the hell's that? Start suspending players for matches. Start deducting teams' points. Start doing those things if you want to take man seriously. What's a knee, bro? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make no sense. Do you know what I mean? All it does is just make people angry. Like, someone said it's actually increased racism. I wouldn't be surprised. Because it just pisses people off. Because they're like, why are we doing this crap?
No, it does, because people are now watching something and like they're hearing about it all the time. It makes more conflict. It's what someone else said. It's divide and conquer. You know what I mean? Like, let's do women versus men. Let's do black versus white. Let's do.
No, you're 100% spot on. You know, because even like with the Joey Barton situation and the women's football, yeah, bro. The funny thing is, yeah, like all these women are talking about like the derogatory way that certain men are speaking about women's football. But bruv, I'll be real. When I was growing up, yeah, we didn't even acknowledge that as a sport. Like, it's not nothing. We didn't talk about it. You know, we're talking about it more because we're seeing it more.
Yeah.
You know, like that. So more men have opinions on women's football now because we're seeing it more because it's been marketed to us. So now you're hearing all these opinions. It feels like everyone's ganging up on them, but really, no one was talking about you until we were forced to see it. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. And I'm not surprised now when you're seeing this kneeling all the time. There's loads of white people saying, what's this shit doing? And they're right, because it's not doing anything.
Yeah.
They're like, what the hell are we doing this for? Do you know what I'm saying? And then the funny thing is, you go Champions League, and then like the English teams are kneeling, and then the Russian guys are just like, man, fuck this, man. What are we doing? What am I kneeling for? Do you know what I mean? And then people are saying, no, they didn't kneel.
I reckon they're taking the piss. I reckon they're taking the piss, honestly. I reckon whoever is controlling all these campaigns and stuff, I think they don't half get a laugh. Like, it's such a great... I think it was...
You're right. They could be doing it just to piss people off, bro. I'll be real.
I think they're doing it for a laugh, lad. They've made us all stand on one knee with our hands in the air for fuck all. Like, you know what I mean? They're making us literally go on our knees for them. And then what they'll do, they'll make you go into a restaurant with a mask on. They'll make you sit down, take your mask off, scan your food. You need to go up for a piss, put it back on.
Put it back on. Like, how's that gonna... Bro, are you trying to tell me that when you're in a restaurant, yeah, if this thing is airborne, yeah, we're all breathing the same air anyway. Like, so... how is putting this on when I go to the toilet or to the bar going to stop me from spreading it, but I can't spread it at my table? And then, if I'm sitting at my table and I'm breathing, people might be spitting and all that, and then the next person that comes in to sit at my table, they're not going to get any of the germs that I just left there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What, they sending the CIA to go and fuck with a UV light to make sure that they cleanse my table before the next person sits down? The whole thing's a farce.
Bro, they didn't even have any metric on it. Like, it literally, I swear, whoever controls all these things, they do it. They say, like, if anyone falls for this, they deserve all the shit that happens to them. I think that's what they do. I think they look at everyone and go, if they actually fall for this shit and they comply with it, because that's the only way they can do shit, is through compliance. It actually can be stopped as long as you don't comply. But if you comply, they're basically saying you deserve all the fuckery that happens to you. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're daft enough to get some juice pumped into your arm that has only been made a couple of weeks ago, like, if you're that daft, then you deserve whatever happens afterwards.
Yeah, but you know what the mad thing is, yeah? Like, my thing was, yeah, when you think about it, yeah, like, all the other stuff that people take, yeah, it's like, these things go through loads and loads of trials, bro. I think they get trialed for, like, I want to say, like, 8 years before they can release them. So, one of two things happened. Is either they knew it was coming, yeah, and they had the thing already made, which I don't believe, or the second one was, their man vibes it. And that's why, do you know what I mean? That's why we're seeing the results of it. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, the game is the game, man. Them have to follow the money, and that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, stop eating these bogus vegan processed foods,
Yeah,
and
facts.
and doing all these things and paying Bill Gates and that for your
Start
fake
growing
chicken
a
and that.
chat. If you want some proper food, start growing your own fruits, mate. Now, honestly, chat. If you're gonna take any advice, start growing your own fruits. It'll be organic, proper. What you get out of the market isn't proper. Like even someone just said to me, like,
Or just don't eat it, bro. I'll be real.
yeah, just
Like
don't eat it. Yeah.
that
Or
that's where I am, bro. Like because when you realize, yeah, when you look at fruit and vegetables right now, yeah, like they're a mutation of what they used to be.
yeah,
Like
they're not even proper.
even 100 years ago, like when you look at the size of them, you buy a banana and it's like that big, yeah, and it's like, hold
Massive,
on,
yeah.
when I'm in the Caribbean, yeah, the bananas are this big, and
Yeah.
they grow outside in the garden, and then
Yeah.
you go to the supermarket and they're this big, and it's like, all
Yeah.
right, cool, bro, like none of that. Do you know what I'm saying? And when you
I'm
look at
telling you.
broccoli and all these other things, yeah, they're not they're not real, bro. Like they're not real.
Yeah.
That's not what they used to look like. So if you think that you're healthy because you only eat vegetables and that, it's like, bro, you don't know what you're eating, cuz.
But then,
I'll be real.
But then, lad, they're so smart though, because they get you talking about it, and then they've got words automatically ready. You're a conspiracy theorist. You're a red pill. Like someone just said to me, I'm a red pill. Like, listen, mate, I'm a man of Christ. I'm a man of Christ. I believe in God. That's my path. I do not go down any like left, right, red pill. This. When I see someone fucking over the masses, like it's easy to identify if you look for it. It's just people don't look for it. They think it's all rosy and sweet, and that's just the way the world is. And that's why that in life and in football, it's mad the way this conversation's gone here. But mate, I love these discussions. Honestly, it's some of my favourite ones to have.
Yeah, 100%. But bro, at the end of the day,
it's
football,
not fugazi.
yeah, football's just a reflection of society, bro. It is.
Bang
Like
on.
everything about it, from all the players, everything. It's just like I'm about to watch the Jose Mourinho podcast with John Obi Mikel, and I saw a snippet of he was just saying, yo, if I manage players in the current day the way I managed Chelsea when I had Matic and all them, man, yeah, I'll be in jail. Like he said it. He said you can't talk to players the same way. You can't do nothing the same. Like it's completely different. And bearing in mind, this is all within, is it 10 years or something like that? When was Jose at Chelsea? The first time he went there was 05, I think. And then when was the second stint of Jose at Chelsea?
2014 or something.
Yeah, so it's like 10 years. So
Yeah.
that's what I mean. In the space of 10 years, yeah, we don't even like what is a man now? Do you know what I'm saying? In the space of 10 years. In the space of 10 years, yeah, you can't, like, men have changed. They've become something else. And this is why a lot of the reason why I speak, yeah, like it upsets a lot of the younger guys because they're not used to someone being very direct and very
They
blunt.
think it's harsh.
That they think that I'm being rude or I'm being a hater or whatever, bro. Like this is how men speak, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying?
Don't
Like,
see it as an opportunity of growth.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, do you know when you talk? Yeah, do you know when you talk to me about? We finish this stream sometimes, and after stream, I'll ask you advice on like what you do in the gym or what you're doing with your diet. Because lads, I see you on Instagram. You're fucking massive. You're in shape. Like I'm gonna ask you, like, what are you doing to do what you do? And I don't take it as you're patronising me, which a lot of men do, or talking down onto me. I take it as an opportunity of growth, and that's what more people need to look at. Is like there's knowledge there to be sought. You're just looking in the wrong places. You're relying on your iPhones and the agenda.
yeah, but the thing is, it's because these men are sensitive because they've been told that their feelings matter, but they don't.
They get told that it's actually affecting them.
Yeah.
Without them being able to do anything about it. That's the problem. They say.
Yeah, but James, like as a man, like your feelings don't matter though. Like they actually don't matter.
Here's the score. You're always gonna get bad feelings. This is the way I look at it. I look at it like you're feeling. You will wake up many more days than not feeling like ass. But it's the way you react to it that matters. It
100%.
really is the reaction.
But there
is
you
so
go.
important.
That's what I'm saying. What makes you a man, yeah, is how you respond to how you feel. Your feelings don't actually matter, you know, like that. And I always say that because at the end of the day, when I wake up in the morning, I don't feel like going to the gym. I go to the gym because I know that it's good for me, bro. And I also know what my short-term goals are, my long-term goals are, and I know why I'm going, and I'm disciplined. I don't go. Motivation don't get me to the gym, bro. Most of the time I wake up in the morning, it's autopilot. I wake up, have my coffee, brush my teeth, go to the gym. Like, it's got nothing to do with motivation, bro. Like, I get up and it's got nothing to do with feelings, because motivation's a feeling. Sometimes you feel like it, sometimes you don't. Your feelings should not affect how you get shit done, bro. And if it does, you're a woman. Like, bro, as a man, you can't just be like, oh, you know what? I don't feel like going to work. I don't feel like making money. You need to support your family. Or as a man, if you're out with your girl and someone grabs her purse, we're gonna say, oh, you know what? I don't feel like fighting for her today. I don't feel like getting her purse back. You know what? You can have it. He caught me on a bad day. Come on, bruv.
You know what, though, lads? I'll tell you now, yeah, like, there's women who do men's jobs better than men do nowadays. There really is. Like,
but this is it.
Like, and it's a shame, because, like, I do think, just like, because I am like a biblical believer, so I have like a different perception on the world with everything that I've consumed together. And I just think to myself, like, I do think there's a natural purpose there for us all. And I do think that the aim of the people who are putting us in work and taking kids out of the family homes at the age of 3 and putting them into nursery for 6 hours of the day and then all the way up until they're 18, I just think that it takes people away from what is actually the meant to seek. I think we're just such a godless society, bro. And I just think that people don't know where to look.
But even when you talk about God and you talk about religion, yeah, all religion is structural. It's just a structure. It's just guidelines. That's all it is. It's a structure. And this society has no structure now. And this is why, like my man said, Jose subbed off Matic, yeah, in the 70th minute after putting him on at half time. No problems. Luke Shaw got subbed off at half time. He's crying to his agent. These man, the entitlement that these men have. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, these feminine men, it hurts me to even call them men, because I feel like they're not the same as me. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like these feminine guys getting upset. Man got on the phone to his agent crying because he got subbed off at half time, bro. You should be looking at yourself saying, why was I taken off? That's what you should be looking at. It's not, oh yeah, this guy's picking on me, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, everywhere Luke Shaw's gone, he's had problems. Yeah. And this is the thing, like, and he can't even keep himself in shape, bro. Like, and this is what I say about discipline. Because it's not even a motivation thing. You're a professional athlete, yeah? Your whole career, you've been criticized for your body weight. And no one's picking on you because people like you. Because even after 10 years at Man United, where you've not delivered for us, they're still not calling for your head. And there's a lot more people that have given the club more, that have suffered way more than he has. So clearly they want you to do well. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is what and you're still failing. And at no point are you taking accountability. At no point. There's no self-awareness with these guys, bro. And this is why I say society's finished. Because the same brothers, yeah, the same brothers that will say, oh, no, Mason can't come back, yeah, they'll let the 8-year-old kid chop their willy off, bruv. You know them ones there. Their heads are gone, bro. 8 years old.
Don't even get me on that.
Bro, this is what I mean. Nah, you're not old enough to buy a lottery ticket, bro. You know what I'm saying? But you can chop off your willy if you want, bruv. Like, this is the world we live in. That's why I don't know if I want to have kids, James. I swear, bruv. Like, because it's like, I'm just...
Lads, do you want me to tell you why I think...
I don't want to leave them here, James.
Lad, I am on to you. But lads, the thing is, here's the problem though, Rants. And if I can say one thing to you, this is what I mean. And I understand what you're saying. But men like you actually need to have kids, bro. Because there's so many bellends who are out there putting the dicks in people, and then there's no substance, there's no product. Lad, if someone like you actually has a kid, your bill, say you had a little lad, I absolutely guarantee that lad's going to have the foundations in which you teach him. That's going to positively enforce him to go on. And then I think he's going to be able to spread that onto someone else. That's our problem. This is what's quite intriguing about Islam, right? Is that they have so many, like, they have big families, and they take over like communities and stuff like that, and they do because they have massive families. So the weight of it becomes stronger in a way because the population's growing, and there's more people agreeing with that idea, and that's why you see a lot of structure in a lot of Islamic families, for instance. And I think that's very good. Like I say about Christians, like Christians actually need to have more like children, because we don't do it nowadays. And people like yourself who have a good message to spread, and you search for the true innate goal of what life is or whatever it's meant to be, you could have positive influence on other kids. But instead, good people like you having kids because you're scared, not scared, but like,
bro, I'll be real, I'm scared if I have children, they'll take over the planet, bro. I'll be real, because they'll be savages, because they'll be worse than me, you know.
But you need to make some absolute monsters to deal with the shit that we're going into.
They'll be worse than me.
Facts, bro. But like, do you know what you're
Yeah.
saying about like kids like getting the things chopped up, lads? I'm telling you now, we can't be having that. Like, we need more strong-minded people to go, this is fucking bang out of order. You know what I mean? Like, so just like I'm saying to you, like, obviously you could be joking, saying it, and just genuinely, if you get the opportunity to, consider it and build an army, bro, because you can build like a fucking, you'd be able to build like and enforce some good family discipline, and then that'll continue. So it's people like yourself who always have more kids, to be honest, than other people. But
No, bro, bro.
people
Listen,
would.
I completely hear you, bro, and it is facts, bro. It is facts, but like this place is it's going, bruv. You know, like that, it's going, like, oh man. Because even you talk about Christianity, this is supposed to be a Christian country. It's not, bro. Like, this country has
That's such a false ideology.
Like
on
God
Jesus
doesn't
Christ,
live in
by the
this
way.
country. This country is godless, bro.
Jesus, like, what the way you need to judge a religion is who is the one who basically set it. Jesus Christ is the one that you go to set that example. Like, you can go over the discussions on the reliability of the Bible and stuff like that. If you come to the conclusion that that Bible's reliable enough, then you say that Jesus Christ, does he agree with what these are doing? Like, you can't go off what people do. Bro, if I judged every self-proclaimed Christian and then judge that on the religion, you can't judge the religion on people. Believe me,
But not the people. I'm talking about the country, because when you go to a Muslim country, you know you're in a Muslim country.
But that's because of the people.
You know that.
The people, the people do so well at preserving the true meaning of Islam in those Islamic countries.
Yeah, but it starts at the top. It starts at the top, above even above the law. Do you know what I'm saying? It starts at the top.
But it's still people making that decision. So that's why you've got to go to, if you learn about Islam, you go to Muhammad. If you learn about Christianity, you go to Jesus. You don't go to James Redmond. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, 100%. And you don't go to the Pope either, you know?
Allow me.
Hey, bro. Hey, the Pope was at the Pope was at Diddy's party. That's what I heard.
Like,
you know them ones there.
I'm telling you, lads, it's bullshit, because there's people who will claim these things, and then people then see like the Pope, and they'll go, "Oh, that's what Christianity is," and it's not. It's like I'm sorry, I've actually got a job, so I don't know how much this is going to impact it. But yeah,
Nah, it's cool. You're right, bro. When they dropped that list in January, bro, I swear down, and the Pope's name's on there. You know what I mean? Hey, we're gonna have to have some conversations, bruv. Maybe on another platform. That's what I'm saying, bruv. Because they're about to drop Jeffrey's list, blood. I swear in January, bruv, and I swear the Pope's on there. So it's all a bit mad. Do you know what I'm saying? The Pope and Diddy, bro, in first class. So I don't know. We're gonna see, bruv. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it's gonna be peak. You know what I mean? That might be for another platform still.
But you do get people who, like, literally they'll follow the Pope more than they'll follow Jesus. It's mad, but anyway. That's
come on, G. Do you know what I'm saying? Nah, hey, listen, hey, you lot. Nah, big up everyone inside. Make sure you smash the likes. You already know what it is. What's it? Tomorrow's Friday, so Gunner's here tomorrow, yeah. And then on Saturday, obviously, it's the big one. We got the big boxing event on Saturday. We've also got Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man United play early. So I'm gonna be live all of Saturday, pretty much. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So Saturday's gonna be a mad thing. Yeah, man. What you got coming up anyway, bro?
Not much at the moment, not gonna lie. So just keep an eye out on the channel. You'll probably see me on here a couple of times over the next few weeks. So keep subscribing, keep liking, and yeah, thank you for having me on the show again, brother.
Come on. The boxing thing's in Saudi, so I believe it's probably gonna start around 6 o'clock, guys. So I'm probably gonna tune into that after the Arsenal Liverpool game, because Arsenal Liverpool's at like what, 5:30 or 5. Like that. That's what I mean. How you feeling about that game anyway? At home? Is it at home? Right. You have to win that.
Yes. No, guys, that's not a home, is it? The Arsenal.
It is at Anfield. I think it is. I think it's at Anfield, bro.
Ah, sweet. Then that changes it. I'd say possibly. I'd say like I'm possibly confident, but then it depends how we turn out. If we play at our best, I think we trump them. I don't think they're that good. Yeah. But then it depends on. You know, it's still the first year with our new team. They're all new. They're all getting used to this very different system. Like, Soboslai went from an attacker at Leipzig to like a box-to-box midfielder whose job isn't to score goals no more. It's to just kind of keep the ball ticking and to cover grounds as well. So it depends how the boys turn out. But I absolutely think that we can trump them on quality. I don't think that they're better than us systematically. I don't think they're better than us individually. I think we should win this game, but they
Yeah,
found.
I think it's a game you win still. I think
the
Arsenal are going to
difference,
come
though-
out to play. They're not going to sit back like us.
Yeah, but the difference is that's true, and I think that'll go in our favour. But then the thing that does worry me is that they find ways to get results because now that team specifically has played together for a little bit longer. Unlike our team, where if we do have a head drop, if we miss 10 chances against United, like what we did, instead of like go again and make the next one more efficient, it was heads drop, let's shoot from outside the box, let's do this. That will only come with time. That maturity that we're lacking at the moment will only come with time and cohesion. So we'll see. But yeah, I think if both teams turn up, we win.
Love that. So yeah, people, definitely going to be here for that as well. Make sure you subscribe to James Redmond TV, people. The link is in the title. And yeah, man,